Hello. Welcome to the mansion. I'm sure you're very impressed. I'm Margarita. You can call me Peggy, but I'm sure you already knew that, right? No? Interesting. Well, then I guess, you aren't familiar with my sisters either, Angelica. Oh, you are? So just not me then. Interesting. Well, I'm sure that if you've heard of my sisters, you've heard of me. They must have mentioned me. You probably just don't remember. Well, that's fine. Everything's fine. Yes, it's fine. It's fine. I guess Angelica and Elise are just the only ones that matter around here. Like, you just go down at the right age of 43 and no one will even notice. What? Oh, I don't know. I was just musing to myself, wondering about what business you have here on this fine evening. What are you doing here? Here to see the Mayor General. Well, he's actually very busy at the moment. As a matter of fact, he's in a extremely important meeting. Don't look over there. Nothing to see. Well, while you wait for him to be done with his meeting, we can sit and chat. Yes. We can talk all about, we can get to know each other. Won't that be lovely? Yes. I simply, don't know where to begin, just because there are so many interesting, memorable facts about myself. There's just so many. Well, at the moment, I'm working on some sewing. I'm quite skilled, thanks to my mother. Maybe Angelica and Elise have important meetings with the political figures, but I can do a mean fucking cross stitch, something like that. Beautiful, isn't it? Just remarkable, really. I have an incredible attention to detail, as you can see. What is it? Surely you're joking. You're very funny. So enough about me, for now at least. Tell me about you. Are you married? Yes. Oh, the one who runs the general shop down the street. Yes, I can see that the two of you are a very fitting match. No, I don't mean anything by that. Except for that, it's just amazing that you've managed to find love. I'm so happy for you. It's just a miracle, really. God bless. You're welcome. When I was 25, I married Stephen Van Rensselaer III, my 19-year-old distant cousin. Why are you making that face? I said distant. He was the 10th richest man in America, a very powerful landowner, so we were very deeply in love. Just rolling in love. Just drowning in it. So much love. I could buy 1,000 horses with all of that love. We were quite eager to be wed as quickly as possible, but father objected. So naturally we eloped. I climbed out of my second-story room in Papa's mansion, and we ran away together. Quite romantic, don't you think? He had just graduated from Harvard a year prior. So many of our friends didn't want us to marry. Call that a momentary impulse of youthful passions. Can you believe that? They said we were too young, he needed to establish his career, it was going to rain that Tuesday, we were cousins, just all of these ridiculous excuses, but you can't get in the way of love. No. Hamilton even wrote me a letter about his philosophy on marriage and selecting the right partner. He said that his wife, Eliza, my sister, fancies herself the happiest woman on earth and would eagerly encourage all of her friends to join her on embarking on the matrimonial voyage. But he said to not act with too much haste. He recommended that I get a man of sense, not ugly enough to be pointed at, with good nature and a little imagination. Everyone said our marriage would fail, but we've proved them all wrong. Yeah. After marrying Stephen, Hamilton started calling me Mrs. Patroon. It means I'm very important and rich. We've had 3 children. My oldest will someday graduate from Princeton and join the New York militia. He'll be Mayor General, just like my father. And I'll definitely be alive to see it. Do you find me arrogant? I know, it is such a ridiculous question. I don't know why people keep saying that. I'm the furthest from it, and I have the perfect story to exemplify that. You see, I believe it was in 81. My father was the mastermind of an underground spy ring, and was the subject of a British kidnapping plot. A group surrounded our mansion and forced their way inside looking for him. The ladies fled upstairs, but Angelica and Eliza, who were both pregnant at the time, realized too late that they left Catherine's baby sleeping downstairs in her crib right by the door. So, being the kind, selfless soul I am, I snuck back downstairs to retrieve her. One of the raiders stepped in front of me with a musket and demanded to know the whereabouts of the general. I replied that he had gone to alarm the town so the raiders would be afraid that the troops were on their way. So they all fled as I grabbed the baby and ran back upstairs. And as I went up, a raider threw a tomahawk at me but missed, hitting the banister. Oh, looks like my father's finally ready to see you. Be sure to check the banister on your way up for that mark. Yes, it was nice speaking with you. And remember, I'm Peggy. Peggy. Yes, okay. Bye-bye. Is it alright if I pose like that? Or perhaps like this? I'm just so excited to get my portrait done. Okay, maybe like this with my hands like that. Oh, sorry, one sec. Ah, it's my phone. It's just a tweet from Aaron Burr. I think it's in like Sweden or something. The poor man is trying to regain his fortunes in Europe. Amusing, isn't it? Anyway, is the light shining perfectly on my stern yet endearing face? Yes, perfect. Let us start then. How many children do I have? 5, 6, maybe 7. Maybe 7 actually. It's actually so hard to keep track of these things, you know. I even adopted a new child. Well, yes, it is the trend of nowadays. A trend that I am starting actually, because I have decided I would be the mother of all children whose parents have met a terrible and gruesome death. Yes, actually this boy I've just adopted lost his parents in a fire. I know, how terribly sad. And my children, my own children, lost their father in a duel. Yes, I mean, who doesn't know that? But anyway, my point is, I want to be the mother of all these children who have lost their parents in a tragic accident. I mean, I know that, given the time periods, these are pretty common deaths, but still, someone must care for the orphans. Do you have any children? Ralph, do you? I'm asking you, Ralph, do you have any children of your own? You have a son. Oh, that is so cute. Well, just so you know, I am perfectly ready to mother that child if you can't take care of him. Yes, I am. I mean, well, I'm telling you this because I've heard people talking, and you know, people like to talk, and well, I've heard that you're going to jail soon, and well, hopefully the money I'm paying you for this portrait will, you know, buy your way out. But you know, just in case, I mean, if anything at all were to happen to you, Ralph, I mean, an accident happens so fast, you know. Well, rest assured that if anything happened to you, and I mean, you drink quite a lot, you know. Who knows
what could really happen, and you could fall off the stairs and break your neck. Well, if that were to happen, well, rest assured that your son would be in very good and capable hands. Mine. What do you mean stop talking? I haven't moved one bit. Show me the painting. Show me the canvas. I know you've just started. Show it to me. Oh, you've only started painting my hands. Why do you care if my lips are moving? Good Lord, you are quite demanding for a painter who's going to jail. Fine, I won't speak. I'll stay silent as a tomb, pretty as a picture. Pretty, that is me. I'm very pretty. You know, I might not be a 23-year-old blonde, but I am still pretty and young enough to get my portrait done. Wouldn't you agree? Oh, I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. I'm not... Well, you know, I'm just thinking about that because, I mean, how would you feel if your significant other had an affair for the whole world to see? Oh, no. Well, you know, I have forgiven my husband, Alexander, a long time ago, before he died. And actually, I've had spent most of my days, the rest of my life really, trying to undo the damages of this affair, of his last years on this earth, and trying to protect his legacy, which was quickly forgotten because of this affair, you know? I mean, today you can enjoy, you know, musicals and books and movies, and it's all fun and games. Well, that's all thanks to me, Elizabeth Hamilton, because I have been, you know, protecting his legacy and I've been making sure that everything was kept in, you know, kept in order. But anyway, if anyone is to be blamed for this unfortunate, filthy affair, it has to be President James Monroe. Well, of course, he leaked the affair, and he made me look like a fool. I mean, Alexander and Maria may have, you know, fooled around, which, you know, I don't appreciate it, but the true responsible for all this mess is no doubt Monroe, yes, who brought shame to our name. I will never forgive him. I cannot forgive him. Ralph, I cannot forgive him. I will not. I won't. No, I won't. On the other hand, if he were to die of a, you know, unexpected, brutal, tragic death, I mean, if he had a horrible, terrible accident, I would, of course, care for his children and place them in my institution, in my private orphanage in New York, because children shouldn't be held responsible or blamed for their parents' madness. And I've made the promise to be a mother of all these poor children. I mean, saving my name, securing my place in society, my fortune, my house, the good old Grange. Well, it was no child's play. As much as I love children, it was no child's play. I mean, you would expect that I'm good at spending and saving, and I mean, I basically helped creating the national financial system. So I guess, you know, I've always been a great economist. And, you know, I mean, the system I've helped create is still in use in the United States today. So, I mean, how do you think I can even afford this portrait? Well, I have been keeping the whole family on a very, very, very tight budget. Yes, but you know, when you have Christian faith and a lot of love and charity and generosity and love and a lot of love in your heart, well, anything is possible. Anything at all. I mean, our orphanage in New York would be the perfect place for your son. Little Ralph Jr., how do you call him? Ralph Lisa. Little Ralph Lisa could be my next charity work, and it would be amazing. I mean, my last little protege, I was talking about him just before. This boy I adopted, he just recently died at the Mexican War. How awful, can you imagine? I cared for the young boy ever since he lost his parents. I paid for his education, I've found him a good place, you know, and then just, you know, gone. One cannonball is all it took. One cannonball and he was gone. Yes. Life is short, that is for sure. But this portrait that you're painting, this portrait will last forever. Forever it will last. Oh, hold on a minute, I just got a text. Can you put the brush down? Yeah. Oh my god, it's from Monroe, from James Monroe. Can you actually believe it? We were literally just speaking about the man. Oh my god, he wants to bury the hatchet. Is this a joke? Okay, do you want me to read what he just like written to me? Okay, listen to that. Alright. Then again, the truth is, I ain't really here to start problems. Girl, I swear to God, them hoes can never say they got him. What the hell? What the hell is this text? I mean, I don't care whether a hose can say they've got Hamilton or not. I mean, it's still his fault. I mean, he was here to start problems in the first. I don't even want to get into it. You know what? I can't believe my eyes. No lapse of time, no nearness to the grave will make any difference. This man, James Monroe, shall never be welcome to my house. Anyway, can I have a look at the painting? Can you make me look more alive? You know, like I don't know, like try and do it with more duete. Like, you know, your hands should be as light as a feather. Yeah, go on and try. I'd like to have a bit of, you know, glow on the nose, tip of the nose, on the cheekbones, on the tip of my chin, and my forehead. You know, I want that glow. You know, I really want that glow. You know, bounce that brush, like, yeah, bounce that brush. Yeah, you got it. Okay. And how pose again? Oh my god, hold the brush. I'm so sorry. I just got another text. Yet another text. I hope it's not Monroe. I mean, I've ignored it. The message should be like, you know, he should have understood. I don't want to speak to him, but alright, what is it? Oh, it's Angelica and Peggy. They're my sisters. They want to have lunch together. Well, I guess we'll have to take a break then. Well, I don't have anything on me. I don't have any money on me, so I can't pay you right now, but I'll pay you next time, and you know, you don't have to worry. As you know, the Hamilton always pay their debts.
Oh my god, it's such a pleasure to see. Is that tea in your hand? It's such a pleasure to see you here, like always, but let me just take that tea from you and just, girl, you know I'm gonna be spilling that tea, because yeah, there we go. Let's not have tea for a little while. Here, just have some wine. It's a better drink for a social occasion, especially since we're gonna be quite. I just love talking to you because, frankly, you always have so much to say. As do I. What a match. Now, tell me what's been going on with you. I want to hear every single little detail, like always. Now, aren't we being modest? That's fine. I'll tell you what's been going on with me then. Well, there's been such a social stir, like always, and I enjoy causing it within the town as of late. I don't know if you've noticed that. Of course you have. The social stir, of course, is stemming from my alleged affair with Hamilton. To tell you the truth, Hamilton is my brother-in-law, of course. That's fact. But he's just a really good friend. A very, 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 very good like a really good friend, like a great friend, like great friend, great. But it's mostly just the content of our letters that's just having everyone go up in arms and whatnot. The good thing is that because we are brother and sister-in-law, it's kind of like we're blood relations, so our topics of conversation are taken with a grain of salt. If we weren't both already married to other people, then it would be a little more spicy for the town. But as you know, he's married to my sister Eliza, hence why he's my brother-in-law. And I'm married to John Barker Church, who is a rich but dull man. He doesn't mind my having friendships with other men such as the Marquis de Lafayette, John Trumbull, Thomas Jefferson, as you very well know, and Maria Cosway. Maria Cosway. Oh, I invited her to have dinner with us today. Or to have lunch, whatever. The food doesn't matter, it's the conversation that matters. But I invited her to come along and accompany us, if that's okay with you. You don't mind? Great, because I know you two are going to have plenty to say. Oh, I'm sure of it. As you probably already know. But even though we're going to be discussing one person in particular, the three of us, I did want to bring about this pamphlet. It's been circulating, I'm sure you've heard about it. It's called Common Sense by Thomas Paine, and frankly, if this just isn't a work of art. It advocates for the independence of the colonies, basically, from Great Britain, of course. Hence why I'm still a bit touchy when it comes to tea. And the founding fathers kind of based themselves off of this pamphlet. Kind of. I mean, there's 2 points to this pamphlet. 1, independence from Great Britain, and 2, an egalitarian government should be founded. Frankly, the founding fathers did win independence for the colonies, for America, but where is the egalitarian government? I mean, he's a good friend of mine. I'm not going to be bashing his character, even though it's so easy to do so, as you know, and as Maria knows as well. So, I'm just not going to do it. Not until Maria gets here, to be honest. But it's something that I wanted to bring about during the conversation that I want to have with the two of you, because frankly, the position that you're in right now, what with having his 6 children, and the position that Maria is in right now, what with having his heart, puts us in quite an advantage, especially since I am his friend and whatnot, and he also has a bit of a little crush on me as well. We're just friends. This time I mean it. We're just friends. Like, sorry, but Thomas is a bit... He's hot one moment, he's cold another. It's really just, I have no idea how you handle that. Or Maria. I mean, Maria gets frustrated because, I mean, like, one moment he's dying over her, saying how much he loves her, and the next moment she can't even get a letter back. So it's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, Maria. I am so sorry. I mean, with Hamilton and I, we have a good correspondence. I have a pretty decent correspondence with Thomas Jefferson as well. Not to mention Benjamin Franklin, in case, you know, I just wanted to slip that in. Because, I met Benjamin Franklin when he was the ambassador for France, and the U.S. ambassador for France, and it was quite a pleasure to meet him because he is so intelligent and he has so much going for him. I mean, all of these men were inspired by the Age of Enlightenment. Obviously, they're intelligent, they love intellectual conversations, they just want to continue progressing, but at the same time, their progress is not going fast enough. I have progressive values. They have stagnant values compared to my progressive values. They should really take my opinion into consideration, and I really influence into them doing so. Some people might call me a temptress, other people might call me a genius. Frankly, I agree with both terms, because frankly, a woman with no power and no official say in government has to find ways to try and get her voice heard. If that means trying to whisper it into a man who has power's ear, so be it. So frankly, that's the lesson I want to teach you and Maria. Really getting your voice heard, especially since you both are associated with Thomas Jefferson. I mean, Sally, come on now, you have 6 kids with a man. I mean, you know you deserve your emancipation considering how many times you make him scream proclamations at night. I heard you guys, honey. You are just wow. Just truly. A slave in the streets, but a queen in the sheets, let me tell you. What gets to me, though, is that it's a pamphlet. Common sense is just a pamphlet. And the saddest part is that it's called Common Sense. Like, you shouldn't even read this pamphlet to know what you have to do. It's called Common Sense, for Christ's sake. And it's a pamphlet. It's not a book. Like, with a book, you could have some room to say that you missed a detail, but the fundamental of the pamphlet is egalitarianism and independence, and frankly, they missed half of it, the point. And it's a pamphlet. It's only advocating those 2 points. It's not like it's going on to any tangents. It's a pamphlet. But I guess that despite the fact that men nowadays want to advocate for the fact that women can't get educated and whatnot, and that they deserve a place at the home, looks like they have to go back to school. Work on your comprehension skills, for God's sake. If only I had a position of power. Do you not know how well off this country would be listening to me? I mean, sure, my voice might not be the only one heard. I agree with that. That's called democracy. Many voices should be heard, but frankly, the only ones being heard are a select few that have the same bigoted views that are going against progress. And it drives me bonkers, but enough about me and my beloved Thomas Paine. Tell me about you, Sally. What's been going on? Any juicy gossip from Thomas or anything going on in your life? Thomas giving you pain? Frankly, you are in a relationship and you're the baby mama to a founding father. That has to come with some sort of pull. So just make sure that he understands your power and the fact that you are a mother to his 6 children. So that way you can start getting your voice heard and start making footsteps towards the right direction. And that's what I'm trying to convince Maria of doing the same, of considering how she has his heart. Like, Maria, would you mind reminding Thomas that you're a woman and deserve to be treated as a human being? I mean, he's in love with a human being. I mean, like, but we'll wait until Maria gets here to continue talking about Thomas. Otherwise, I just want to talk about Hamilton for a little while. He's a pretty good guy. Enough talking about Hamilton now. Back to me and my sisters. So Eliza's doing well. She's pregnant again, obviously. Peggy, I forgot about her, so I don't know what's really going on about her life. And me, I've been doing quite well. I mean, I've been considering having another child with John, but at the same time we already have 8, and I feel like 8 is enough. I mean, I don't want to have too many children now. I mean, like, 8, you know, when we first got into the marriage, it's like we didn't want all that many children. We just wanted to have, you know, nothing double digits area. But 8 seems like a pretty good and understandable, reasonable amount of children, so we're just gonna stay there. And Philip, my oldest son, is talking about how he wants to name a portion of New York after me. Is that not the sweetest thing? I gotta love my children. To be honest, I've got to love my children, and they're so lovable. And frankly, considering how my husband was given 100 acres in exchange for the debt that the founding fathers owed him for all of his work towards them during the American Revolution, the same revolution my father worked as a general for, we're quite well off, to be honest. It's quite a noble position to be in. I'm quite happy about my station in life. However, I do want my voice to be heard. So that's really what I want to fight for. So when Maria gets here, we're going to be discussing that. But for right now, let's just enjoy our wine and just drink up, because frankly, there's a lot of misery and work we have to do in America, so